Cryptocurrency is fascinating. So we've got, India, China wanted to ban it, but actually in America, almost the wholesale adoption of it. The Fed now recognise it. Miami is going to become sort of El Salvador, but I won't take that too seriously. But Miami is going to become the world's first crypto city. So you go and buy a cup of coffee in Starbucks, and it's 1/10 millionth of a Bitcoin to buy a coffee, or whatever it is. If we start to lose confidence in money, and I'm old enough to remember the 70s and what happened to people's savings.
Exactly, which is exactly where we're going.
But they had nowhere to go. They had nowhere to go. If they bought good stocks after the stock market had fallen, good solid companies without debt paying dividend, they would have done fine. But now people have got options, haven't they?
Well, I think
is crypto a genuine option?
Okay, so it's a really lots of people ask, and I would say this: crypto's manifestation is coincident with the hegemonic status of the dollar falling, and systems anticipate outcomes and start beforehand. So people know America is on the wane, and the dollar's on the wane. So its space for the cryptocurrencies to grow has been very much that case. The issues around blockchain, I have huge questions about quantum computers and integrity over time. So I don't see this as a long-term solution. It's a space as a hegemonic currency falls. And in that, but you see, do I want a store of value that drops 50% in a month? I'm really not very comfortable with that one. And so it's not a store of value.
It's the Wild West.
And I think, right now everyone got bullish at 68 on Bitcoin. And I think actually we're going to sub 2030 before we can go to 100. Everyone's going to feel very, very uncomfortable 50% lower. So how you manage that particular asset without losing your hair is a big issue.
Yeah, I kind of don't quite take the same view. I think that it's sort of, it's adoption, it's acceptance, and the fact that people are openly, even in America, talking about it becoming the new reserve because you can't print more of it. So I'm a bit more bullish on that.
I'm very bullish on sterling, though. I think sterling is
it
going to
looks
be
cheap, doesn't it?
Well, it's going to be the safe haven currency because on the basis that it's the only country in ascension and has national energy when Europe and America doesn't. A little bit from those blocks coming into sterling is going to swamp us when the time comes.
A final investment thought: gold. One of the old favourites.
Well, it is actually.
And if you're right about what's around the corner.
So it is my favourite. I call it my precious metal strategy. And I think we are going to levels that are difficult to comprehend. Because again, a little bit of gold, just there's so much currency to squeeze into that physical gold. That means silver's going to be a financial metal because you go to the next one down. Every of the precious ones. The timing is interesting. I think we're on the verge of the next breakout with one small caveat. As the stock market traditionally drops, you go risk off. When you go risk off, the dollar has a beneficial moment and you end up with gold and silver dropping. And we saw that.
Yeah, and it's liquidation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's liquidation. And so you need to be prepared to survive one more down impulse.
When the pandemic
it was
first hit, gold went down to sort of 1,500
and that was a great, if you weren't
I remember.
long. And so
it sort of fell $60 one day.
So I don't think we're going to do the same, but we might do a half version of it. Because this is going to be different. This is about America being the problem and losing its hegemonic status. So the dollar isn't the safe haven. It'll be a moment of recognition. But you'll get a sort of half similarity before it goes in the opposite direction.